leads coming in. It's time to go do the hustle, because if you do the hustle with the working by referral system, you're going to get leads. Is that true? And if you do the hustle during the transaction and your customers see you doing the hustle for them, they're going to refer you. And if you do the hustle during a transaction, you're actually going to close the transactions and get paid. Because people don't get paid when they don't hustle during the transaction. Now then what we do is we teach you in coaching to take a break and to take your vacations and have your time off. But hustle before you take a break. Does that make sense? And so what we're looking for is we want success without work. We want money without sacrifice. And it's just not the way the world works. And I would be remiss as the head of a coaching company to set you up for failure by saying, hey, just work our little magic, send out your items of value, sit back and let it all flow. We gotta do the hustle, okay? And we gotta do the hustle because here we are. Now our income, still stuck. 31,900 gross commissions before expenses, before taxes. Now the good news is there's not a lot of taxes, so they're really kind of sticking it to the man. Okay? You're not the boss of me. Okay. And so here we go. And again, we'll be updating these numbers here in the new year, but we'll just have a great contrast between the people that are working our system and are being coached by the best coaching team in North America. And just the results are there. And with a little bit of hustle. We want to help you be more skilled. We build out training programs. Now, we used to build a training program every 7 years. Now we're building them every year because the skills are changing and need to change and enhance. This brand new training program, the Pathway to Mastery, we've had over 11,000 people take it so far. It's great stuff, if I don't mind saying so myself. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The most referable skill is negotiation. Are you guys aware of that? When somebody refers you, they negotiate with me a great deal. It's people's biggest fear that they pay too much and they leave it on the table. So when you're a great negotiator and you're skilled, they refer you. What are you doing to work on your negotiation skills? Doing negotiations, practicing on your customers. Okay, that's live surgery practice, boys and girls. Okay, the 5 types of buyers, how the buyers have changed and how the market's changed. Now you have to communicate with this type of buyer differently than this. You have to talk to a millennial differently than you do someone who's a baby boom who's downsized. Does that make sense? And then how to present like a pro. People think presentation is out of the business. I think it's at an all-time high. And I think it's what separates. I think it's what it fights through multiple offers. I think it's what gets the listing as opposed to not getting the listing. Again, people are not working on it. Where are you working on your skills? And then ultimately, one of the key ingredients is how to create your own inventory in this market. If you create inventory, you can control your own business. Okay? Yeah, list to last has been around for 50 years. It'll be around for 50 years. What are you doing to create your own inventory? I suppose I have buyers, but I have no houses to sell. There is going to be a shortage of inventory for years to come. I want to say this. No individual agent needs to have a shortage of inventory themselves. The shortage of inventory is based on macroeconomics. We have less houses being built than the demand to buy it. Are you guys with me? But in personal economics, that does not affect you at all. So improve your skills. Next, be a total pro. Become a total pro. And this is really a huge commitment. And by the way, if you want to know what my emphasis is for the year, watch what I'm doing with Buffini. For 24 years, my life's work was the Turning Point Retreat, and now lately the Success Tour. That's where my DNA, my blood, sweat, and tears is more buried in that than anything else. And we're retiring our 2-day events this year. And next year I'm coming out with 10 events that's called a masterclass. In the events in the past, I would teach people introductory stuff like, hey, here's you need to call your database, you need to sort a database, you need to do pop buys. Here's what a pop buy is. In the masterclass, I'm going to show what people at the very highest level do with this. Not you, this is what to do, this is how to do it. I'm going to show how I can get a returning phone call from anyone I leave a message for. I'm going to show how I actually write notes to get a response from anyone I write a note to. I'm not going to show you, hey, here's the introductory stuff, and I've been doing that for 24 years. I'm going to take people from here to here. Now, if someone's coming to us as new, we have all kinds of training programs for that. Does that make sense? But when you come to this new masterclass, you're going to get exposed to the very highest level of how things are being done. And then we're going to introduce you to the very highest level of our members, of both what we call the knowledge pool. Here's these fantastic ideas that people are doing, very invigorating. They do this, they do this, they do all these fun things you can do to exceed your clients' expectations, stand out in the marketplace. And then in each market we go to, we're going to bring the best of the best to kind of share their best practices. Very engaging. So this masterclass, it's on like Donkey Kong. Here's the thing. I've kind of suspended my own desire because my DNA is in the 2-day event for who my boss is, and that's the customer. And so what we're going to do, and especially all you members, my goal is that every member inside the Buffini Company attends a masterclass next year. I'm coming to you. Here's the 10 cities I'm coming to. I haven't been on the road this much in years. So Beverly's very happy about this. But there you see Seattle and Northern Cal, Anaheim, Arizona, Denver, Dallas, Philly, Toronto, Rhode Island, and Northern Virginia. So we're coming to see you, okay? So we go on to Buffini Company and see where you can go catch a masterclass, and it will help elevate your skills. A couple little stats for you on all this thing. 91% of customers say they give a referral after a transaction, and yet only 11% of salespeople ask for referrals. You're right, and I wonder what percentage of that 11% are our guys. Would you agree? No doubt. Okay, here's Top Sales World, fantastic stats. Salespeople who actively seek out referrals earn 4 to 5 times more than those who don't. This is just in sales. What did I show you guys earlier? 31 grand to 358 grand? It's closer to 12 times in the referral system. You get what you're looking for. If you're looking for trouble, if you're looking for problems, you're going to find problems. If you're looking for referrals and asking for referrals, you're going to get them, providing you do the hustle and do a great job for people. And that's the last part here, is provide superior service. Say the word superior. Superior is not a snob phrase. It is a discernible differentiation. Don't just give people what they paid for. Man, if Buffini Company just gave people what they paid for, we'd have been out of business a long time ago. Our commitment is to give everybody more than what they paid for. Here's Forbes, says on average it costs 5 times more to attract a new customer than it does to retain the existing. And for me, in referrals, is retaining customers is all about doing a great job with the people who may not buy a house for another 7 or 10 years, but you've retained them in your database, you've retained them in your culture, you retain them in their walk and talk of billboards. I just had a chance to interview a lady who's the head of OPI, Susie Weiss Fishman. So if any of you have acrylic nails, I know more about now all the nail colors and, no, I'm not really a waitress and all of the different colors and everything else. The girls think I'm totally woke now with all of this stuff. Here's the thing. Here's the guy who built a business up from the ground into a giant international brand by focusing 100% on who? On the customer, on constantly making it better. And she understood her customer was the salons and then the people that put their nails on. And all she did was think all day long, what do they need? What do they need? What do they need? What do they need? And be superior. Okay? That's what we want to do. Now to wrap up here today, I have a little gift for you, because when I do a pop-by, I always bring a little gift, and I want to be a good example for you. Do you guys agree that the media is pumping out a lot of stories and it's kind of a negative environment nowadays, yes or no? Is it kind of dramatic and kind of over the top? Do you think that type of negativity could possibly impact your customer?
Yeah.
So what we want to do is arm you with some facts and some stats, and also do it in a graphically pleasing manner, okay? So we have our real estate report. And so this is the Buffini Company real estate report, and it has some cool stuff in there. We have a Canadian version for all our Canadian friends, and it covers the state of the market. It covers buyer profile, who's buying, how they're buying, what they're buying, seller profile, and also communicates about who you are and why you work by referral. It's something you can print out. It's something you can put on your iPad. It's something you can give to your customer. So go to buffinicompany.com/disruption. And so, because we want to disrupt that. Also, the dynamic here is, as I travel around this year, again, we've had huge success. Probably this year will be our most successful launch of a new training program. But I was kind of shocked to find out so many of our members had not taken the new training because they thought, I got that. And then when I taught them a little bit about the program, like I taught a little buyer session at our success tour, they were kind of blown away. Like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out. So for that sake, what we're doing is we are running a little special for our members here for a couple of weeks to go take the Pathway to Mastery so you can get a couple $100 off. I want you to get this training before I give you the next trainings. Does that make sense? Because I got several more trainings coming. This stuff right here will give you like a crash course for 8 weeks and help you elevate your professionalism, elevate your skills, help you make more sales. Does that make sense? So you can go in there to the old buffini.com description page and you'll find all the deals for that. That being said, here's what we covered. We covered the state of the market. Is the economy doing pretty well, yes or no? Is it better than being reported? Yeah. We covered the state of the industry. Is the industry doing okay? Are there some changes to the industry? Yes. And then we covered the state of the agent, and individually how you can control your own economy, you can control your own opportunity, and you can ultimately control your own future. What a magical business we live in. What a magical business we work in. That you can actually directly control your own revenue while blessing people, giving a set of keys to a person who never thought they'd own a home, helping someone move on and get their kids into the school they want to, helping people buy that second home or vacation home, helping the person who's lived a really good life who wants to maybe relocate to somewhere a little warmer, maybe a little less expensive, and you help them make that dream come true. That's a big deal. That's been driving me for 33 years. And you're the people who make it happen. And the people who make it happen deserve the opportunity to make a really good living. Does that make sense? That's my philosophy. What goes around comes around, right? So, I just talked to my mom. She just celebrated her 89th birthday. Okay, here she is. Here's Therese McPhee, okay, that we do. And the one thing she's told me for 52 years is this little phrase: "You can do it, Brian." And no matter what, and I was actually on the phone calling her on the way up to the studio here today, and she finished up the same way, and I'm like, man, you are something else. And I thought, you know what, I've had that behind me all the time, and I want to say this, maybe if I could pass this on in any way to be Therese McPhee's boy, would be this: you can do this. You can do this business, and you can do well. If you have a desire to serve people, you can do it. If you have a desire to really exceed people's expectations, you can do this. If you want to become a top pro, you can do it. Because it's just learning the skills that match up with your style and your personality, like we do when we match people up to the Harris program. You can do this. You can have a great business, and you can have a great life, and you can serve your customers in a fantastic way. And that ultimately is the boldest prediction I have. Because that's what this business offers, and that's what the opportunity is. And I wish you the very best of success in 2020. I hope you come see me at a masterclass. I hope you listen to your coaches. I hope you work the system. And I hope you're able to help your customers navigate through all the challenges and have your best year ever. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks to all of you.
Man, that was good.
You.